What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and it's early. I'm in the studio before 8 a.m., and I know to a lot of you who are actual adults, that doesn't sound that early, but I am a 36-year-old man-child, so being up at 7:30 a.m. is a little difficult for me. But for the second time this week, we have a video game tweet. A video game tweet that is a problem. Now, if you followed earlier this week, you know I talked about a particular video game that was a little too, how do you say, thirsty on the main. I don't really know how else to describe it. And then we had a new video game yesterday who sent out another totally innocuous tweet, but of course was forced to delete it because this is 2020, the era of everything's just so good around me that I have to be offended by tweets. Now, before we get into that story, just a quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Displate. And a little bit different kind of ad this time. I'm actually going to unbox something. They started a limited edition Displate run where there's only going to be 100 copies produced at a time. So maybe by the time you see this ad, this particular design might be sold out, but every single Thursday they add new ones for you to check out. And let's see what this one looks like. All right, so standard Displate packaging, always coming. Ooh, it's wrapped in a giant envelope. Heck yeah. Oh, dang, that looks cool.
I am your father.
Now, this is for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. Very cool. And if you don't get one of those sweet limited editions, they have a huge selection of brand new Star Wars, among others, that are currently 40% off. They've got these kind of retro, funny looking ones. All Star Wars designs are 40% off with code EMPIRE40. And if you don't like Star Wars, you can score 35% off the rest of the site just by using my link in the pinned comment down below. Displate has stuck strongly by this channel, especially during a time when most advertisers are pulling back like crazy right now. So if you're stuck at home, get some sweet Displates to put up on your wall and use my link in the description or pinned comment below to save a huge amount of money today. Now, the original story from earlier this week was Samurai Showdown Twitter account walks back overly spicy tweets. Now, if this tweet were about a man, I mean, look, maybe I've been at home too long. Maybe I'm just getting a little tired of it. But let me be clear. If this tweet by Samurai Showdown was spicy about being hot for a man, nobody would have been offended. But because it was about a woman, not only did they have to delete it, but they had to apologize, and every major video game outlet covered it and painted them as the evil ones. Brands these days like to tweet like they're your pals, replacing yesteryear's buzzwords and obvious ads with lackadaisical prose meant to mimic millennial affections. Sometimes they go too far. Case in point, the official Samurai Showdown Twitter account probably should have reeled it back in last week to avoid having to make an apology today, not to mention sparking a new skirmish in the ongoing culture battle. It started simply enough as more and more players celebrated Samurai Showdown's next DLC character, Iroha, more specifically the large amount of TNA she adds to the roster. The official Twitter account began retweeting screenshots taken from the reveal trailer. Predictably, most of these images were focused on her derriere rather than anything she's capable of doing during the match. This was shortly followed by a tweet by Samurai Showdown account itself responding to the community's reaction to a reveal, quote, "We all horny on the main tonight." Samurai Showdown developers SNK fighting games tend to be pretty spicy, even if the genre is rife with spicy women. The studio's pseudo mascot, I can't even pronounce that. It's no secret the fighting game community has a problem with women. And this latest incident gives the scene a lot to consider over the weekend. By the time Monday rolled around, the offending tweets had disappeared from the Samurai Showdown account and was replaced by an apology. So stunning, much brave. It read, "A number of posts made by this account have been deemed inappropriate and offensive to members of the community. The admin in charge has been given a strict warning to be more considerate. The offending posts have now been deleted. Please accept our sincere apologies." Well, if there's anything we've learned, if there's anything you've learned by watching my channel over the past several years, if people demand an apology of you, they won't accept it. If somebody thinks they're owed an apology, they're almost never going to accept it. So you're better off just ignoring it. Now, is that the best thing to do? Maybe sometimes genuinely you mess up and you should apologize. Yeah, but why bother? Why bother in most cases? Now, I'm not going to go into too much into this story because I already covered it once this week. Look, there are good-looking women in video games. Deal with it. If you don't like it, don't play it. Ultimately, this whole thing was sparked by a single female being super offended, even though she had a long history of tweets about men being spicy. But that's not today's story. If you go back even further in history, we had the Doom Eternal controversy. Doom Eternal's mortally challenged joke is offensively boring. The first glance, you'd assume Doom Eternal exists purely to provide catharsis for those craving a responsive, ultra-spicy shooter. These qualities are what made Doom Eternal's gameplay demo at QuakeCon 2018 last week so exciting. The Doom Eternal gameplay demo, the Doomslayer blasts, tears, and grapples their way through the futuristic cityscape, blah, blah, blah. These few scant lines are cause for concern. 3 phrases in particular stand out. Quote, "Earth is the melting pot of the universe." Quote, "Let's make our friends feel welcome in their new home." And the aforementioned, "Remember, demon can be an offensive term. Refer to them as mortally challenged." Obviously, this is what game journalists don't know. You all know what this is, but it's a joke. It's probably poking fun at the overly sensitive kind of SJW mindset that, is seeming to be losing some ground. But nonetheless, my opinion is that game journalists know this is a joke, but they pretend that it isn't. They pretend, they take a phrase like this and they paint it in the most evil light they possibly can. Because like I said, life is so good, even right now when most of us are locked at home, that they have to stretch and bend and twist to find something to be upset about. Real issues in video gaming like backwards capability, real issues like the removal of physical copies and us not owning our games anymore, they don't get clicks. This stuff does. And at the time, it was a huge, huge whine fest about it. And then they whined about people roasting them. And then they called people the alt-right if they didn't agree with them. Well, yesterday we had another situation. Dying Light deletes, quote, "Zombie Lives Matter" tweet after receiving backlash. The official Twitter account for Dying Light deleted a light-hearted tweet that included a meme that read, "Zombie Lives Matter." Dying Light describes itself as a, quote, "first-person action survival game set in a post-apocalyptic open world overrun by flesh-hungry zombies. Rome is a city devastated by a mysterious virus. Scavenge for supplies, craft supplies, and face hordes of the infected." The tweet in question was captured by Sophia Narwitz. It reads, quote, "It can't be easy being dead and alive at the same time. Support your local zombies in May, Zombie Awareness Month." There's also an image that reads, "Zombie Lives Matter." And you can see Sophia tweets, also a friend of the channel, by the way. Shout out to Sophia. Dying Light made a harmless tweet, but now the pronoun police are losing their minds because we can no longer have fun with slogans. It's now deleted, but if you search for @DyingLightGame, you'll see nothing but anger. Game devs, stop giving in to the rage of all these unhappy losers. And you see Sad Dead Man, "Holy cow, this is a terrible tweet." Of course, as you'd expect, some people took issue with the image and attempted to paint the studio as either racist or insensitive to progressive values. The Dad Who Laughs says, "Oh, we got that one." T-Can, "Notice how the people defending racism, even though you didn't specifically call it that? Just a terrible tweet." and 2020, and they still don't tell on themselves. And they still tell on themselves, it's current year, everybody. Oh God, tell me it's already deleted. Excuse me? So you're just gonna co-opt Black Lives Matter for your zombie game? F you. Seriously. Black Lives Matter isn't an aesthetic you can just slap onto things for publicity. F you in your game. Really? All these people are fine when video games do it for Pride Month. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Wait, this really happened? Well, at least we know this kind of trash person that runs the social media for this game. Now, if we go back to what happened to actually one of my employees who used to work for GOG and CD Projekt Red, he sent out a tweet, and you know what the same outrage mob did to him? The people at Reset Era Forum doxed him, and people were calling his like 85-year-old grandfather to call him horrible things because he made a joke about visibility of retro games never going away, and he did it on Trans Visibility Day. Good smart joke at the time? No, but it was just a joke, and life goes on. These people get so offended by jokes that they will band together and try to ruin somebody's life over it. It's truly pathetic. On the other hand, others pointed out that the latest Doom entry, Doom Eternal, had a similar joke within it. Hey, devs over at Dying Light Game, just so you know, Doom got away with this joke. We loved it. The people getting angry over this type of thing aren't going to buy your game anyway. Absolutely. The majority of regular customers like the tweet. Don't cave into these complete wet wipes. A magazine titled Demonology Today found in the game that promotes articles why the Slayer needed to apologize to demons and why it's harmful to demonize the mortally challenged. Other users simply pointed out that no matter the situation, there's always a group of fun police who are always looking to make things sure everything fits into their narrow worldview. These fun police seem to do nothing but stalk social media for those who fall out of line so they can punish them for the crimes of wrongthing. Well, it's true. Hey, look it. Here's my video about it. CD Projekt Red GOG fire community manager over tweets. And these outrage mobs do claim scalps. YouTuber The Quartering documents how CD Projekt Red fired a community manager over their tweets back in 2018. And if you're new to the lore of this channel, I hired him. I hired him after that and paid him a salary. And because screw these people. Did he make a tweet at a time that was probably not smart? Yeah. Did he deserve to be fired? No. Did he deserve to be doxxed? No. Did he deserve to be blacklisted from the entire video game community? Of course not. These people will always exist, but I'm sincerely hoping that people will start to just ignore this stuff. I mean, the fact that they deleted it is sad enough. I'm sure an incoming apology is on the way too, and it's just sad. Let people make jokes. Look, not every joke is for everyone, and just because you don't think a joke is funny or you don't think it's funny doesn't mean it's not a joke. We've got to stop taking people at the absolute worst possible slant. We can't be thinking the automatic worst of people who make a joke. Sometimes it's just a joke. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.